49% agree, 44% disagree. This is the first time in 40 years that a plurality say the U.S. should simply mind its own business internationally. People want to get outside, come back inside, I should say.
Well, it's probably not surprising given the fact that people always retrench when the economy is bad, and we're also fighting two wars that a lot of Americans believe are unwinnable. And there's a large focus from Americans on saying, look, you know, tend to the business at home right now and try and fix our economy before we look abroad.
Because isolationism could be a dangerous feeling out there, at least according to a lot of foreign policy experts.
It could be. I think it was noteworthy that in the last election, both parties nominated committed internationalists. Yeah. John McCain, great internationalist, the Republican Party, of course, Barack Obama, internationalist in my party. But this could create an opening, either for a Republican or a third-party candidate, to kind of stitch together a lot of the beginners, opposing bailouts at home, opposing deficit spending, opposing wars, which most Republicans tend to have supported under Mr. Bush, and now opposing any kind of international engagement. This could be, you know, paging Lou Dobbs, you know, we'll run, Lou, run.
Or
Ron Paul. Or Pat Buchanan, he used to be an isolationist, I guess, to a certain degree. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, I would put the caveat in there that this poll was conducted before President Obama had his speech making the case for Afghanistan, so maybe that would have changed things. But I do think that global climate change policies are a big part of this push towards isolationism, and I think this will play out when the president goes to Denmark for that climate summit, and then also to Norway to accept that Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just think the other thing you have to remember is that right now there is, people don't see a real compelling reason to go overseas and do anything. Right after 9/11, you saw you know, the sort of, yes, we need to interfere internationally. There's no real compelling reason, a very compelling reason to be looking inward. So I think these things shift depending on what the news is and obviously where the country is. I'm not sure I would look at it as some long-term, and I don't believe, third parties never get grown well here in the U.S. But I mean, I think it's interesting, but I'd be really cautious about seeing anything long-term.